I mean, here we are again. Here's how we're gonna do this one. I'm just gonna join. I'm gonna join this smaller right now. I'm gonna join. Sorry, they're talking right now. I'm muted and deafened. We're gonna join, see what happens. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see where it goes.
What we should grow in Saudi Arabia is millet. Millet is good for Saudi Arabian climate. It should be the main source of carbohydrate.
It tastes so bad though, millet.
It's rice.
It tastes bad. It doesn't taste good. Have you ever tried it?
Oh, dude, I have tried millet. It tastes like paper.
Yeah, it has the very strong
Did you try it? Did you try its cake? The millet cake. It's so amazing.
Really?
I have tried a lot of different dishes of millet, like just normal millet with side dishes, millet drink, millet noodles, and I don't like any of them. Yeah, but
I
again,
think
like it's a matter of national security, so taste is not something
I think
as a
Saudi
priority.
didn't some part of Saudi is already becoming more wet. Like there has been some raining. Like maybe in the future it will become green. Who knows?
That's the UAE, not Saudi.
Ah, the UAE. I see.
You know, in Islam, there's a prophecy for the Prophet saying that the Arabian Peninsula will become green again. But for now, things are natural. Like all the scenery that you see, the heavy rains, the Greenland are so natural. It's nothing special. So who knows what that will gonna come again.
क्या एक बार टेक्स्ट में बताना तू सोई नहीं भाई मैं तेरे को कितनी देर पहले टेक्स्ट करा था मतलब वॉइस नोट भेजा था सॉरी प्लीज कंटिन्यू
Okay.
Mm.
In the best, in the mountainous area, they were growing wheat and barley. The diet was so horrible, and the
Barley
problem
is
is,
very good. Barley is very healthy also. Very tasty.
yeah, it cannot support that population because you barely have enough.
Oh well.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking me. Just, it's hot. I'm hot, but I won't die, so I'm happy.
That's good.
You said you were good, right?
Yeah.
Are you good generally?
Like, what do you mean? In what sense?
I don't know. Like, whatever sense you want it to mean, I guess. Sorry, I'm grabbing something. I don't know. Like, what does it mean to be good? It's a good question, isn't it?
I meant to mean that I'm comfortable.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that definition. I like that. What's your name, sir? Rainbow King?
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck, I don't even know where to go from here. I don't even know where to go. I'm lost. I am just thinking, I guess. Thinking too much, maybe? Maybe? guess I could tell you about my day, and maybe it'll spark an idea that you have. Maybe you'll be like, oh, that kind of reminds me of this. Anyway, right now I'm dealing with birds in my office because it's basically in a mudroom, an unfinished mudroom. And the reason it being unfinished matters is there's no doorknobs on the door to the outside. So the little birds, they go in through the little holes where the doorknobs would go. And they've built a nest in this hat next to me. And I set food out for them, but they've started pooping on my computer stuff. Like there's a poop in one of my coffee cups. There's a poop right there. I'm pointing at it. You can't. There's poops in my. Is this doing anything for you?
I mean, it's kind of gross.
It's all right. They're friends. Can you hear them?
Yeah, slightly.
I see it right there. It's chilling on the outlet. On a little cable coming out of the outlet. This is neat. Yeah, but I've been dealing with these. They're kind of chill. It's whatever. They laid eggs in the nest, so it'll be really annoying. Probably in a couple weeks. But I don't know. I'll deal with it when it happens. What's up, Crunchwrap?
Boredom. Looking for something to talk about that makes
Right?
me feel like a wasted day.
I feel that. Where do you think entertainment, excuse me, what direction do you find entertainment going towards?
It's either something to completely null your mind, so just make you stop experiencing, or as a platform to put as much preaching as you possibly put in media.
You cut out a little bit. You said putting what as much as you put into social media? What? Say that second one again. Rephrase it.
Everyone wants to be a messiah. Everyone wants to be a messiah.
Everyone wants to be a messiah.
It's on social media. Everyone wants to put as much of their beliefs into their media as possible. At least that's maybe an observation, but my observations, there's a lot more messaging, and even though it's a lot more of it.
Right. Huh. Okay.
And
okay,
messaging,
but
I don't think it's necessary.
But do you think that can ever happen? I mean, that everyone... Because here's something interesting that I just like to imagine, because I would really be into it. And I would assume other people would be into it too, just because I think it's a cool idea. So I think that AI is going to get to the point where it can mimic personalities. So what this looks like,
Statically, I would say, yeah.
what this looks like in like your day to day is, imagine you have a smart car. Maybe it drives itself. Maybe you still drive it. Maybe it's your phone that has this personality, and you can talk to your phone and ask it questions, and it could be like, it would respond to you in the way that one of your friends would, where it wouldn't just tell you what you want to hear. It would sort of...
Oh my god, no.
You don't see that?
Yes, no, here's the thing. That could happen today. AI... That's what I don't... That completely ruined your ass.
Okay, can I be honest with you? You are cutting out on like every other word. and it's
It's
making
probably my
understanding you
mic setting.
difficult. It's making understanding you difficult.
There. That's more so I had it up high because it kept picking up all the little.
I should probably turn mine
But-
down, and then you won't be able to hear this bird anymore. It hopped on my desk for a second. It's the longest it's ever been closest to me. I'm sure we'll become friends. Eventually. Yeah, don't worry about the bird. So, alphabets. Welcome to the chat. If you're expecting anything serious in this serious chat, don't. It's not really serious right now. Oh, this bird. It's gonna get on my nerve. Okay. So when we were talking about AI, I think it's a boring subject. I think that with AI, I just want to see it do its thing. And I think that the least regulation or the less regulation we have on it, the better.
Okay. Governmental legislation in regards to AI, I don't that very much either, because it mostly just limits general public use and privatizes it to corporations.
I think that's chill.
Regulate it on an atomized level, I would say it's good. Having better control systems for AI in terms of adversarial inputs, and there was a paper we published on how to engineer LLM in terms of a dynamic system, but just better control over the inputs and outputs. So that way, at least on an individual basis, people can stop runaway projects.
Do you think people, do you think like when you go into elementary school, instead of doing the typing as practice, you're just going to have like the AI command thing practice? It's like, oh, how well can you get AI to do what you wanted it to do? And that's what you learn in elementary school, because what if that's...
Not at elementary school, no. It's not going to be that.
You don't think it'll go down to that eventually? I think it will.
That's not going to be a recent thing.
Think about the...
I think it'll
because
go
we started
low.
doing the typing practice. It's essentially the same thing. It's like, oh, we understand how much computers are going to be a part of your life now, so we're going to teach you to use computers in elementary school. And I don't see why AI is any different.
Between typing?
Because typing is what you use to input commands into the computer. But with AI, you don't necessarily need to type.
Are you talking about writing or just using a computer?
Using a computer.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, AI will get quite low. It would probably be mostly in voice text.
Yeah, and that's something. It's so strange. I can't wait to have an AI friend. I can't wait for my AI friend to talk to one of my friends' AI friends.
Okay.
And they're just like, what? Because they're sort of like, what's a good analogy for this without being like controversial? It's like a dog talking to another dog, right? Is that mean to talk about AI like that?
They're not aware. They're not going to get offended at you.
Right.
Maybe some Twitter people will get offended for them.
But the dog wouldn't even get offended if you said that, right? Like dogs aren't offended by being called our dogs, like our pets, because they love us. They don't care.
They don't know what a word means.
They don't know what a word means. They just have the love. I hope that AI can have that. I hope that AI can just
I
have
don't
that
see a rabbit.
love.
Well, actually, that is love as well. They just love tearing apart rabbits.
Yeah, but that's part of the love. I hope that they have that. Oh, the bird is staring right at me. It's kind of an ugly bird too. You're an ugly.
Government spy drone.
Yeah, he's watching me
Watch it blink your name out in Morse code.
right now. Has his eyes closed. It's so cute.
It's just charging.
Yeah, it's charging. Anyway, yeah, I think that'll be interesting. The whole AI thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
Like
AI.
imagine getting into a whole argument with your AI bot.
Argument I can get behind, but not as a social partner. I
You don't think?
want AI on
No, but
social
not. You don't
partner.
think as a social partner because they could help. Like they could tell you jokes. Like that's one thing that I don't think you need to be human to make. I think that AI can make jokes
And
and like they can curse.
mm,
And there's always
That's
something. There's
not
always
what-
something funny about cursing, especially if it's a robot doing it. There's something funny about just that.
well, you're just thinking about it as a content lens. That shows how you view social situations. You're viewing it from like an idea of what content can you get out of this that contains.
But that feels like all.
That's not healthy.
Isn't that all that? I mean, like, what do we use Instagram for? Like, what? How much?
Don't use Instagram.
You don't use Instagram.
Me neither.
You don't use Instagram.
No,
Who?
I don't.
So
use
where
it.
do you find socialization?
Discord.
Discord.
And I go to like events in the outside world if I want something. Like I play Magic the Gathering once a week with some randoms.
Okay.
At boxing club, that's where I mostly do it.
That's interesting.
So yeah.
But you don't like send like funny reels to your family?
I mean, I've been on 9gag for like
Yeah.
8 years, but for the last year I haven't used it very much. Because it was like 9gag really went deep down. Man, it's sad.
That's funny. I'm just thinking about this. It almost is already like an algorithm for your Instagram. Because I use Instagram. I guess you guys don't. That's strange. I find
No.
that strange because I thought like, obviously not everyone uses Instagram, but I thought like more people on
It
here
feels
would.
like everyone is using Instagram.
I thought more people on, but like the way I use Instagram is I go on there and look for crap, but only really with the intent of sending it to someone. Like that's like I find stuff that I like personally, but the stuff that I like personally, I wish I
That
had.
just sounds like social validation of your own interests.
Yep.
No, but it's
But I did
it's
that
social
too earlier.
validation with people that you interact with in real life.
Yeah, but that's still just looking for other people to validate your own interests, and that doesn't
Yep.
sound healthy.
That's. I mean, not. It's
That's-
only.
that's how
to
humans
make
work,
People laugh
no?
sometimes. I mean, sometimes that doesn't sound like that's the only reason you could do that. Like I showed people memes I found
Oh no,
because I
but that's
wanted
what
to
you
make
said
them
was the
laugh.
reason.
Yeah, I want to make them laugh. I want them to like. I mean, like it's also like, oh, I'm thinking about you. There's like when I send
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
someone, it's like, oh, this reminded me of you. You are so much a part of my life that when I see something that reminds me of you, I think of you, and now I have the ability to send that thing to you.
I think you're both right. I think there can be like multiple reasons to do something.
That's true. That's true. That's true. It's just your motivation.
Motivation is a fucked up thing, man. You can get motivated to do funny things.
Like eat the Mona Lisa.
That'd be
Yeah,
that
or
would be
like
funny.
kill 1,000,000 Jews.
That wouldn't be funny.
Yeah, sorry, they went too far.
Wait, did someone just leave?
No, like, but isn't it crazy? Like what humans get motivated to do?
It is kind of crazy, yeah.
Like I just got motivated to tell this disgusting joke. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
No, but it was because of the reaction that you'd hoped it would receive. And if anything, that guy leaving was sort of the reaction. I mean, it was along the lines of the reaction you were looking for, I imagine.
I mean, it kind of was, because sometimes you want to do like these disgusting jokes to find out if this is like the right
Environment, yeah.
moment to do more of these
That's
jokes,
interesting.
or like what kind of environment are we in, and also to something like break the ice, I guess.
I feel that.
But it's also like earlier in life, I often had like this feeling of, oh, if people can't take the truth if I say what I think, I don't want to even hang out with them. And I think that is the sin of pride.
Well, part of that's
And
true also. It's not...
It is true, it is true. You should really watch out with judging people.
Sorry, one second.
That
I think
that
that a
can
big
go
part of
like
it
that.
is, it's like it's finding the right words for it. It's how you truly feel. Telling that joke was part of how you truly felt. It's like, it serves to show other people who you really are. It's like you're just having fun, and you use, but maybe bringing up that joke in like a certain way leads to a more desired outcome. I don't know. It's just difficult. It's difficult. I don't know how to say it. I don't have the right
Do
words.
you know what you desire?
Do I know what I desire?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Healthy lungs, I guess.
I'm going through a little bit of a sickness right now, but I also would love some cigarettes. Oh, that's what I desire. That's what I desire. Yeah, that's it right there. You know what I desire? I desire the high. That's what I desire. The high of life.
The high life.
The high of life.
It can get pretty fucking high. It's amazing.
Yeah, it can get pretty fucking high. I want to see how high.
So what do you think makes a moment generally a high one?
It's when
Not as an example.
fantasies align with reality. Like when the fantasy that you build for the way that you want your life to go, it gets,
when your assumptions are right. Yes.
Yeah.
That is indeed a blissful moment.
It's very blissful.
But I mean, it depends. It depends, because that is also a perfect definition for a horrific moment. Because your assumptions about like a beer being in that cave that you just entered could turn out to be right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like you can have dark fantasies, and if they become true, oh god, you're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
If you're scared of getting murdered and you're getting murdered, bad time. That's not a pleasant moment. So, but I it's not like I don't like your definition. It just struck to me that
But there's a high in that too, huh?
it goes both ways. Is there?
It's I think I heard someone say that the same chemical, or like the same chemical kind of in your brain is excitement and anxiety are the same chemical. It's just a state of mind that changes your view of it. Yeah. So
I think I've heard that somewhere before, and that makes weird sense.
I think they're similar. I don't think they're exactly the same though.
Yeah. I just heard someone else say it, so I couldn't add validity to it. But what he said about comparing the dark fantasy and that being realized versus I guess because what's the dark fantasy is what a nightmare versus a dream.
I mean, it's a fear.
It's a fear.
Fears are dark fantasies.
That
Because fears are always like future driven. You fear something of happening again.
Yeah.
Or happening at all. So fear is a dark fantasy, basically.
Huh.
And when your fears come true, I think it can actually. I mean, there are two outcomes, I guess. Well, probably there are endless outcomes, but there are like two outcomes, which would be it breaks you or you grow from it.
Breaks or makes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, do you think that it's through the fear that you get closer to? Because maybe it's being fearless. If you get rid of all fear,
Only somebody really delusional would be fearless. I think having fear in the eye of absurdity, not in the eye of, in like when you look at everything and everything seems to be so absurd, it would be unreasonable to not fear, and only somebody that like hides from that absurdity through like religion or science and goes like, no, it's all explainable. Oh, it stands in my book here. Like, yes, somebody like that maybe doesn't fear, but that's not because they are really fearless. It's more like they are running away from their fear.
I don't understand that one.
Have you read Albert Camus' Myth of Sisyphus?
I will say I've only really read one book, like fully
Oh,
read
all
it,
good, all good.
and it wasn't that one.
No, it's like, wouldn't you agree that life seems absurd? Like, things don't really seem to make much sense, if any at all. I mean, you can assert some sense to it.
Yeah,
but,
I would agree with that. Yeah, I just that feels right, somewhat.
It's
Keep
like
going.
the only certainty is like uncertainty type thing.
Yeah. I feel that.
So that would make like what have we, like, why did we get this whole consciousness thing and this whole need for making meaning of this life if we can't certainly set meaning to anything, but only in the sort of assumption where you say, I guess this is what it is.
Say what you just said again with different words. I lost you.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh fuck, dude, my head. Yeah, man. So I'm totally sorry, but I lost what I was saying.
You were talking about a book.
Oh yeah, about Albert Camus and maybe I should lay down some of the weed.
Okay, that would probably help in this conversation. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I wasn't engaged at all anyway, so I'm not losing anything.
I was engaged.
I was engaged too. I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
I'm just upset at you.
Upset? Why are you upset?
Because I want to understand you, and I don't feel I can anymore. Because you're deep down in your own hole, and I don't feel you would be able to bring me down that same hole that you're in right now, and with words.
Oh yeah, no, I'm way too deep in the fucking rabbit hole.
That's what I mean. I am upset that I can't, because it's fun to go down together.
I'm working on that. I'm really trying to, like, I just started writing down my first, like, not just started, but like for the last 2 years. Occasionally I've been writing down some of my thoughts, and maybe I can like learn to put them into more understandable and like sense making. What is it called when you have order? Yeah, in a more sense making order, like. And I think Discord especially is a really difficult platform for that, because you have these like weird conversations with people like you and me that never met before, and we have like all these different ideas of what words mean. Like if we were to talk about communism, we first would have to clearly define what we mean, and even then we would probably still, like, I've had 2-3 hour long conversations on this server about the definition of communism with like 10 people, and it seemed impossible to get an answer that satisfied everybody, and many people were in like crazy disbelief.
It's why I find that, I mean, it's difficult to come into consensus with everybody. What I like about kind of the way that these conversations end up being is it's just sort of two people talking, and when someone feels the need to say theirs, they have that opportunity, they do. But what I find is it tends to be two people, like a dance between two people, and
Mostly, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's, I think, what we're best fit for, especially when it comes to the types of conversations like these.
Oh yeah, they're definitely a dialogue, mostly.
But what I'm saying is I'm upset because I don't feel I can dance with you as well.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least we can't go dive
I
deep.
wasn't a good dancer. Sorry.
It's fine. It comes with practice.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect
So-
either. It's just
all
with
good.
you being high, it's not likely gonna happen.
So
I can try. Go ahead.
Are you against the consumption of?
Oh no,
drugs?
no, not at all. Not at
Okay.
all.
It's just like not particularly on the philosophy Discord.
No,
The
it's
serious
I
chat.
think that's cool too. I just would say, just like what happened earlier when I asked you about that book that you were talking about, you mentioned you being high as one of the reasons you couldn't get back on track with the same thought you were having. Because I'd asked you to rephrase what you said, I just didn't understand it, and that seemed to
Yeah,
have,
I'm sorry.
No, don't.
I wish I would have, like, I don't know. Sometimes
It's
the
chill.
words.
You know, it's honestly chill. You're
Okay.
cool. You're cool. We can do something. We can do something.
You're handsome as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But that is a picture of me.
Is that a picture?
That
you
is a
get
picture
down?
of me. Yeah.
I would love to have a beard like you, dude.
Yeah. I had this beard
Yeah.
since I had this beard. It's like you don't understand how often I've heard that, because I've had a beard since I was 14.
Since dude, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
no,
With
it's
14, I had like nothing.
Nothing. I know. Never. That's everybody except for me for some reason,
Crazy.
and other Mexicans. That's really what it is.
Okay, wait, do the woman like it?
Do the women like it?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, they like it. They like it.
They
It's
like
it's
it?
just
Oh,
it's
fuck.
like the women like it. Only the women. The girls don't like it.
Only the woman.
The women, they like it.
Did I ask if the girls like it?
No, you asked if the women liked it.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop whispering when talking about this. So for anyone who's joining, we weren't really talking about anything at all. We were just chatting.
Goofing around.
So if you have any ideas, if you have anything that you've been thinking about for the past couple days, weeks, maybe if it's been bugging you for the past year, I'm willing to talk about it and ask you a bunch of questions about it if you want to go there. Because that's where I want to go right now. If anyone wants to go, you want to go? Let's go. Crickets. Crickets.
Well, I'm thinking
I feel
about
that.
something.
You're thinking.
But
That works, I guess. Thank
I
you.
mean, I came up with some sentence, and maybe you wanna Like maybe you have a comment. It would be vague when possible, but determined when needed.
So what's the sentence?
Yeah, that's a sentence. Be vague when possible, but determined when needed.
Be vague when possible, but determined
when needed.
When needed. Okay. Vague when possible. I like that. But that's difficult. It's difficult because who's deciding when possible?
Oh, I mean, possible.
Isn't it always possible? Isn't it technically always possible to be vague?
I think you have to assume at one point. You have to, like, in this whole thing of uncertainty. Yeah, you will never know if those berries, like, we're pretending we're in the wild and you have some berries you found, and now it's the question: can I eat them or can I not eat them? But I'm fucking hungry. So at one point you will have to decide if you deem them to be edible or not, even though you can't be totally sure of it.
So you say be vague when possible and determine when needed.
Yeah.
I would say that you haven't I don't know, because that's a very vague
Oh yeah, I know.
That's a very vague sentence, I guess. It's like when is it needed to be determined?
Oh yeah.
Is it ever really
that's
needed?
A great question.
If someone asks you a yes or no question, you physically can't be vague.
You can. You
if
can
someone
answer
asks you a
with
question
yes and with
that
no.
It's a yes or no, emphasis on the or.
Well, that's if you play to their rules.
You are not to decide how I answer.
Yes, that's if you play to their rules. It's like they could ask for a yes or no, but you don't necessarily need to give them one. It's when is it really needed to be determined.
If I say, is 1 + 1 = 2? It's a yes or no question.
And I could turn around and say, well, what do you think?
Then that would not progress the conversation.
Yes, it would.
You could also say yes in this context, but no in this context.
It depends on what you mean by progress, I guess.
If the conversation ends up being circular, there's no progression.
It's one person has to give at one point. And maybe I could say, why are you asking me that question? Do you not believe that I
would
think
be
of
vague
this?
at that point. That's not a real response. It might be a real response, but it's not a vague response.
I think why are you asking me that question is a vague response.
No, it's a vague response, but not vague, because vague is like middle ground between,
Yeah, but
it's like
that was what
you
I
ask,
said.
is there water?
I
you have
gave
water.
you an example.
If
I
I
gave
say-
you an example of a vague answer.
I like this. What's your name, sir? Chicken Scene 2? Is that who's talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way that you're approaching this. Let's keep going. So, what were you going to say, Revville?
So what is needed is indeed an interesting question here, because again, to some degree, nothing is needed. If you don't have any goal, there is nothing that is needed. But the moment you get goals, there come like I guess you need.
There are
to
more
do some
optimal
assumptions.
routes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
So it
more
all
optimal,
depends on the
like,
goal,
if
huh?
you go against like infinity of possibilities, you certainly kind of get better chances. I forget what I just said.
I'm confused where the correlation between determinism and vague is, because you can be determined to be vague. Where's the correlation that either or? Well, not correlation. How are they
think-
opposing each other?
To be vague is to always remember that the starting point was that we said that only uncertainty is certain.
Oh.
So even though you assume something, maybe not assume it to be all the way through, but only for like 99%. leave that 1% open.
So I guess it's being
Something
an
certain.
absolutist versus not.
Yeah, again, I think not again. I think you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great. I love the play on words.
Yeah, relativism. I think relativism is making more sense in my eyes.
Do you have anything at all that you believe absolutely?
Three things are absolute in life. I can't remember it. I can't remember the quote. Something, death, and taxes.
I take things as absolute, but every time I get the opportunity to, not every time, but I try every time I get the opportunity to disbelieve my previous beliefs, I try to do that.
Okay.
I try to disbelieve myself because I learned in my life that very often what I want, the moment I get it, it doesn't seem like I really wanted it. Like I stopped wanting it. I don't. It actually feels like it's not doing good for me. I don't know.
You talking about bitches?
Maybe as well.
Alphabets.
I'm just saying, you gotta watch the bad ones, dog. They'll drag you down.
They'll
with them.
drag you down.
Like, I think everybody can relate, or most people can relate with the experience of wanting to do something, and once you did it, it really was like not what you expected it to be at all.
Right, chasing
And
the
you
dragon,
regret.
you'll never get it.
Like everybody regrets something.
That's not actually true.
This
I
is
don't think I
this is
regret
interesting.
anything.
Okay, you know what? Chicken C2. What are you feeling right now?
Bored.
You're feeling
what?
Bored.
You're feeling
B-O-R-E-D.
bored. Bored.
Oh damn, you're bored.
What would fill the void?
Something actually, intellectually stimulating.
I see.
I
Okay.
get bored very quickly.
Okay. Well, let's go to your train of thought. Let's hit you with an idea.
About?
Don't go on asking me about. You're gonna make me think. I don't want to have to think about this. I want it to just come out.
What? An idea of, like, what idea are you gonna hit me with?
That's a good. I mean, you did it again. You did it again. Okay, 1 second. Let me think now. Now that you're asking me,
Let him cook.
Let me cook a second.
Bro cooked up some.
Excuse me. Because I was asking people this, and I feel like asking it again is gonna. It's just like, we already talked about this, man. You really gonna bring this up again? I don't know who's there for the conversation, but I genuinely believe that we as humans, and one could even argue every other living thing, and their own version of this, but we all operate on emotion, and every decision that we decide to make is based on emotion. That is the idea. That's the thought. And I don't know what kind of...
Do you see logic as an emotion?
I see logic as eliciting a certain emotion in us.
What does eliciting mean?
It makes it happen. Bringing out. So I see logic as something that we humans react to.
What do you define as emotion?
Emotion is basically a biological reaction. And I struggle to say biological because I'm still trying to find some sort of divinity in in emotion, but right now,
Hmm.
I
That's
mean,
difficult.
everything
It's
is a
difficult.
biological response.
I think you
Even
can
moving
find
your thumb is a
coloring.
biological reaction. I don't think that would be an adequate definition of emotion.
Okay. Well, let's break that down first then. What's your disagreement?
No, I'm saying that before you say that everything is done based on emotion, you'd have to define emotion in a reasonable manner.
Right, and you
If
found
people
my
define it differently,
definition
but based on
unreasonable.
your definition, yeah, because if you say it's a biological response, even something like moving your finger is a biological response. Would
Yeah, I
that
would
mean moving your
say.
finger is emotional?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so what would an emotion be? It'd be something that you feel.
Is pain therefore an emotion?
Yes.
In that case, yeah, everything is emotional based because you do everything to avoid pain.
Is that what you find?
And if you believe that pain is an emotion,
Yes.
then yes. If you don't believe that pain is emotion, then no, some things are not done based on emotion.
Aren't done. Okay. I wonder then, what do you find drives everyone?
I mean, yeah, emotion is one of it, but rationality and emotion are two parts of human thinking.
Interesting.
We think rationally and we think emotionally. Rationality oftentimes contradicts emotion, and emotion oftentimes contradicts rationality. We use them together, and they work hand in hand, and that builds our morality.
So thinking?
Rationality plus emotion equals morality.
Rationality, I
At
see.
least from my understanding.
Rationality.
I think will is what drives us. Will and reactivity. Like our will is very reactive.
I don't think that actually contradicts what
No,
personally
I don't think
I'd
so
be saying
either.
though, because
Yeah, I just wanted
rationale
it in
and
one sentence.
emotion would. Fair enough.
It's the semantics thing.
What about intuition?
I think that intuition comes
That would
from
fall under
rationality.
that.
I don't think it
Intuition would be
would.
intuition is not completely rational.
Do you think that
Instinct, I should say. Instinct,
being
that's a better
rational,
term.
you don't find falls under emotion?
No, I classify them separate
Why?
because emotional is reactive. Rational is after you give it time, essentially, at least.
So would
If
adding
if you're
2
going to a
plus
fight
2 and then getting 4, would that be rational or would that be reactive?
that would just be, I guess, logic would fall under rationale, so it would be rational.
It'd be rational.
Because 2 plus 2 is actually it's a foreign concept. If you think about, I was thinking about this actually today. Numbers as a concept, while humans easily understand them, are actually a weird concept because we are associating a specific character symbol to express
Yes, it's symbolism.
something that expresses multiple things. Like if we have 4 sticks, right, on the floor, when we'd be teaching a child math, right, we show them 4 sticks. We first have to get them to understand that quantity equates to this specific symbol. So the point being, though, it would be logic-based, rationale-based, not reactivity, because a caveman does not reactively decide that 2 plus 2 equals 4 and then prove it. You know.
But there's a certain but what I point to is the certain emotion you get when you prove something.
Some people get no emotion. If I think 1 plus 1 equals 2, that it literally does not trigger any amount of joy or discomfort for me. It's just a thing.
But you don't.
No, but it gives you comfort. Of course, it gives you comfort. It gives you security. And
Because you know
like
something.
right.
Yeah, you know something is true.
But you don't know. You only feel it to
Right,
be true
right.
because
But
you can't know for sure.
That's when
Think
I
about something
point
like
to
math.
emotion.
Math, you do know for sure because math it's not a
In itself,
natural
yes.
phenomenon. It's something that we have made. So based on our rule set, it is true.
In itself, yes, but only in the system itself.
Yeah. But that's the thing, math only applies to
Yeah,
a
but
specific
the
system.
moment you say math is equal, like math is what is like math is truth, math is equal to reality, I think you misunderstand what math is.
Wait, I don't say
Math is
equals
a
reality.
translation of reality. It is a depiction. It's art. Math is art.
I didn't say math is reality.
And not that art isn't useful, and math is super useful as well.
It's
and yes,
let's
we can.
get what he's saying, because I don't think he's saying it's. But you're putting some sort of truth on math, right?
Me.
Some,
seed.
yes. Some, yes.
I said math is a concept made by man.
Okay.
It is true within its own self.
Right.
Based on the
Yes.
rules we
Yes.
have for math, it is true.
But
So
those
it is something that we
those
know for
rules are
certain.
based on reality.
Math allows us to math and science allows us to express reality into a way that we understand it. It itself is not reality as we put it.
But
It's
there's
not,
a certain feeling to doing that.
you can. Some things invoke feeling. For me personally, basic math does not invoke any feeling.
Because basic math is
because I know-
basic. It's like in order to keep getting that high, you have to keep getting more and more complicated.
Yeah.
It's why people pursue like
dragon.
become
Better
mathematicians.
food.
Is they
I'm on
start
the
finding
64th letter of pi, and I'm fucking.
Wait,
Of course,
but-
eating
okay.
eating the same food for the like millionth time won't give you the same pleasure something new gives you.
Yeah, it's like with math,
Yes.
you got that you can chase the high with math, but that high is still the same feeling that I think drives everything. And it's part like everything logical is just because we like to know what's right. And the reason we like it is because we get an emotion when we find something right. I think the emotion drives everything.
Yeah.
I mean, take this back to let's take this back to the thing about rationale and emotion. No, what was the first thing you said? Is the world driven by emotion?
Yeah, that every decision.
I say that I specifically distinguish between rationale and emotion because my definition of emotion is not what you have defined it as.
I see. Yes.
By your definition, then everything is emotional.
Yes. But
And
you
everything
make
kind of
this
seems to be-
distinction between the two, which I don't understand. Because in
my
logic,
understanding of emotion, my personal definition of emotion is any feeling. No, not any feeling, because feeling, I don't involve pain as emotional. Pain is pain, right?
But
I
when you're
distinguish between
asleep, you
rationale
don't
and
feel
emotion because emotional responses tend to be sudden. They tend to do what feels right in the moment. That's what they need to. So if someone were to insult you, the emotional response would be, I don't know, just sucker punch him.
But if I
The
were
rational
to
response
say
would
that
be-
2 + 2 is actually 3, that would make you feel some sort of way. Maybe that you feel like he's.
It would be
bullshit.
you're
logically
attacking
incorrect.
reality. Yeah.
But that would, I don't see how that's relevant to the thing though that we're talking about.
I think you need to realize that every intention statement is based on feeling in bottom. Or that's
Again,
what I
that's what I was going to
Yes,
say. That
exactly,
your
exactly.
definition of feeling, your definition of emotion, would
Right,
determine
it's
your
not-
answer to that.
It's not ecstasy.
We define emotion differently.
But you're
we
choosing in your definition to separate logic from emotion.
Yes.
Or do you
Yeah,
do
most
you
people
accept
do
that
this,
there's a
by the
link
way.
between the two though?
Yeah, they can
A lot
work
of
hand in
people
hand.
do this.
No, they can't.
Especially when
They
talking
can't
about
not work hand in
psychopaths
hand.
Or something. They have this
I believe
heuristic
that sometimes
logic
rationale
and
goes
emotions
against our
are
emotional
separate.
response.
When? I mean, I don't want to
Okay,
do
okay.
that.
I
but I
mean,
don't
you
want to
can
ask
have
you
you
a
can have
specific.
opposite emotions many times. You can find something disgusting, yet want to eat it.
But there's
No, I'm talking about. Let me think. A simple example of when rationale goes against emotion. Okay. You really want to eat something,
yes,
right? Because it tastes nice. You want the pleasure from eating it.
yes,
By not eating it, emotionally, you're putting yourself in distress. No human wants to be in distress.
yes.
No one wants to be.
That's not
So,
true.
but
Have you ever been in
Well,
a
that's
gym?
that's not necessarily true, because
Okay, fine.
it's through
Let me
distress. Yeah, it's like
rephrase.
it's your. Go ahead.
Me personally,
what about eating hot food? We love eating hot food. That is being in distress. We love being in distress.
Or like
but
smoking
that's
Quite the
cigarettes.
opposite of what you're saying.
specifically
But you
differentiated
but
pain
realize
from
Okay,
now,
let,
emotion.
let him
that
let him finish, and then we will ask.
everything you feel the need to say right now, right? You feel the need to say it. It's like a reaction. It's like an itch you have to scratch.
Yeah. The
It's-
will is
it-
very reactive.
Right.
I mean,
So, but
again,
many people have
you,
this heuristic of
let me finish.
rationality and
Let him
logic
finish. Let
being
him finish.
separate from feeling. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, as he was talking.
Okay,
Let's
I
be
was
civil.
saying
Saying 5
that
times now.
no, it's because I keep getting stopped.
Yeah.
What I was saying was, I made these distinctions, and based on these distinctions, I say that certain things are done rationally, other things are done emotionally. Sometimes the two work hand in hand, but I don't think everything is done solely emotionally.
So, so you're saying solely emotionally because you're differentiating the two. So you think that there can be a balance of the two. What
There should
I'm
be a balance
posing as a
between the two.
question to you is, why wouldn't all the logical, and I mean I think you can attempt to, but I think you will attempt to in vain, is where is there an example of you making a decision that you think is logical, but at the end of the day is based on emotion and purely emotion? I think every single decision is based on the emotion, with me posing as a challenge to you, finding an example where it's not based on emotion. And I don't want to go I don't want to go down this route of asking you for an example, because it sucks. I'm put through that sometimes. I don't like it, but I can't find another way to continue this without asking you for an example of where emotion isn't the base in the decision every single time.
I had an example in my mind actually. I'm losing it now.
Yes.
What is it?
It sucks being put in this position. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I have done enough public speaking in my life to be comfortable in this situation. Let me think. I had something on the tip of my tongue. Okay, going to the gym. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this is not completely devoid of emotion, but you go to the gym more based on rationale. Emotionally, or at least mentally, you know that you're going to be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You're talking about
distress, I think, is the word you used. Keep going.
You're talking about this experience of
no. Let him continue. Let him continue, and we'll break it down afterwards. Because I know where you want to go, Nikki. But let him continue.
So, you know you're going to be in pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also want the joy from looking better.
Mm-hmm.
You also want to feel good about yourself. So, despite knowing that this is going to be a painful thing, you are still going to follow through with it anyway, because of that emotional joy from it.
You just did the opposite.
It doesn't solely rely on emotion. It relies on both.
Okay.
Rationale and emotion.
So where's the rationale play any weight into the final decision to go to the gym?
The final decision to go to the gym, you know the benefits of it outweigh the cons.
And the benefits, are they logical or are they purely emotional?
Logical based on your own perspective.
Let us steelman your point. So what I am understanding you to say is that many times we have a feeling like maybe I should eat that donut, right? I want that donut. It would taste so good right now. Maybe you're on a diet, but you have this interpersonal conversation with yourself, which is a strange. It's like mom and dad is up there. You have this conversation with yourself, and you come to the conclusion that no, today I'm actually not going to eat that donut. I will regret it if I do, so I'm not going to do it. And it's that interpersonal phenomena that you're saying is rational, separate from emotion or something.
Yes, because at least again from my perspective, emotional is the basic, and rational is slow.
Yeah, like this thinking fast and slow idea. If you've read that book.
No, I'm not.
It's all just like, it's funny, there is no heat. It's only fast and slow.
I've been listening for a while, but I don't understand the subject still.
It was about emotion and how much emotion plays into decision making. And what I'm arguing is that that emotion plays 100% of the. I mean that all decisions are based purely on emotion, and all that things like rationale and logic serve to do is to give you emotional security when making decisions. And I'm having a disagreement with the way that Chicken C2 is defining decision making, where he thinks that the rationale and emotion are separate, where I link rationale to the emotional response that it gives you, and he places it separate. I don't know how that's where I'm lost, is I don't know how you can be rational and it not it not play into, or it and for it to play into a decision without a response emotionally from that rational decision. It's like I don't see why anything would matter rationally unless you are persuaded emotionally by it in some way.
Well,
I think
I never
this
thought about it,
Humean
but
Kantian distinction maybe.
I never thought about it, but it sounds like maybe you're right that it's 100% emotion, but maybe it's like you're about to take a decision based on one emotion, but then you think about it more, and then you decide not to take this decision. But basically, you thought about it more logically. But the reason why you decided not to take that decision and you stopped, maybe it's because of a different emotion. Maybe it's because of another emotion, which is, for example, being scared of something, or you know what I mean?
Yes,
Right.
I think you
If
summarized
you're,
it pretty
if
well
you're
in that example.
Humean, then that we're all just
You know what?
emotions.
I think
at the
actually
bottom,
I
but
change my view.
Kant invokes
I concede,
this
yeah.
transcendental
So you see the
rationale.
connection, Chicken C.
Yeah, I think then it would be right to say that emotional responses actually are what help us drive rational responses. Without emotion, there is no rationale.
Okay.
Hooray!
Yeah, right. But it's not to take away from your point, as I think that in our brains, to give you credit, logic does. I mean, it holds a lot of weight in persuading us, in controlling our emotions, and I think that's a good thing. I think that it's good that humans are able to submit so much of their emotion to things that people might call objective, or things like math. I think that's really important. I think it helps us to live. It's unlike animals. We're able to live in such a big society because we let logic control us in that way.
I think animals are able to do that as well, just not in the extent that we are able to do it.
Well, they don't got the words for it.
Well,
They don't got the
I
numbers,
don't-
the symbols.
It just seems
give a cat
like a strange distinction to make, Benjamin.
I mean,
You know me.
give a cat food.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in give a cat food, right? The cat will never stop eating. It will finish its food. Even you can feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it. It does not have the ability to make a logical distinction that this food is causing me problems.
I mean, actually, I had the cat, and the cat would stop. And by the way, the cat wouldn't eat everything. By the way, and even just
A stressed out cat probably would. Indoor cats.
My cat eats a lot.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, he probably wouldn't stop eating either.
Yeah, if I was stuck inside all day.
It sort of seems like that for humans as well. Like when you're very hungry, you tend to believe that, oh, if I had even 100 burritos, I would probably eat all of them. But then you start eating 100 burritos, and you probably won't eat more than 10 or something. You know.
You're making me hungry.
Okay,
Stop it.
let's say you have the space for 10. It will be your logical aspect and not your emotion. It will be your logical aspect and not your emotion that stop you from eating 10 and you only end up eating 5. If you have the ability and your stomach doesn't get full. No, I believe that these two go hand in hand now. I'm no longer saying that rationale is separate. I'm saying that you know that there is benefit in only eating 5 and not eating the full 10. and you will see the benefit of it because it benefits you mentally, it benefits you physically, and this is a good thing. Your body, you
I guess
as an
I
emotional
was,
person want that
I
good.
was just trying to say that it sort of seems like when you're so hungry you can eat a bunch of food, and it sort of looks like that for when a cat is hungry, like you give the cat something to eat and it eats like very hungrily
Yeah.
or something very fast, and you give it more food and it looks like the cat could be eating forever, but not really. I mean, at one point it's gonna stop eating.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you
Well,
so much for this conversation. I'm gonna get going. I love y'all. I appreciate everything.
Mwah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the whole feeling thing. I love fucking feeling. It's amazing.
Love you.
Emotion, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. This is episode 3. I did 2 episodes in a day. I don't know if this is going to be like a common thing. I had fun though, and I sort of had to end my last one short, and this one was a completely different episode. I mean, there were completely different people, a completely different conversation, but it was great. I loved it. I just wish that people would kind of propose their own ideas, because it's getting tiring having to say what I think. It's fun, I guess, but we're just going to end up talking about emotion because I haven't found another concept to talk about. I'm sure I will the more I'm on here. Maybe I should write. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. And I'm not AI. Oh, that's what the last one was about. I'm not going to say that every time. Why did I say that? Never mind.